Hello and welcome to episode 9 of eSports Edition. I'm Alex Fletcher, and it's been a couple weeks since I did my last entry, but I ran across a very interesting article on GameInformer.com about last week's Dota 2 International. And I won't go into explaining what that is. If you're watching this video, you already know. But just as a synopsis, last week, one of the biggest esports tournaments of the year took place with a prize pool of over $18 million surrounding professional play of Defense of the Ancients 2, whose publisher Valve put together the International, which took place in United States of America in Seattle, Washington. And the article itself did a great job of not providing a comprehensive recap of the matches and the outcome, but it talked about, as the title says, how Valve is making the Dota 2 magic. And it was such a timely piece just because it really underscores the importance of the spectacle, or of spectacle in esports. Because if you look at the success of modern sport, and if you look at sport in general, what makes it universal is the spectacle. If you talk, whether you're talking about anything from the Olympics to what, if you're an American football fan, the Super Bowl is one of the best examples of a spectacle, where it's almost as if everything surrounding the actual gameplay or competitive activity or sport is basically dwarfed by the packaging. For purists, that sounds like heresy, but for the mass majority of viewers, of fans, people who could potentially be drawn in and affected by the event, the spectacle is the draw. And I think it's one area that esports has to improve substantially, because within the esports community, there's so much enthusiasm, there's so much engagement that we almost take for granted that everyone isn't as excited about the Dota 2 International TI5. Everyone isn't excited about the upcoming North America summer split in Madison Square Garden. So it's important to push the spectacle. That's how you cast a wider net. You have to go over the top. And if you look at what Valve did, I saw the Sports Center cut in, and for the 5 or 6 seconds before they showed the actual gameplay, I thought they were at a professional sport event. I mean, they had everything from the analyst desk with cameo by Jeremy Lin to the lighting. Everything that ratcheted up the excitement level was there. Valve hit the ball out of the ballpark, and that approach needs to be taken across the board in the esports industry. When we're talking, whether we're talking about an 18 or an over $18 million prize pool like we had with the Dota 2 International, or you're talking about a smaller event, you have to push the spectacle, because that is what's going to draw a wider viewership, but also that's what's going to help recruit more enthusiasm, recruit more enthusiasts. And with esports especially, it's a sticky experience. So there are a lot of gamers, believe it or not, out there who don't know really what esports is and what it's about. I mean, yeah, the articles are in Fortune, they're in Time, they're all over the place. You probably have heard of it, but there are a lot of people who play a lot of video games, believe it or not, and don't know what esports is. They've never had a taste of the esports experience. So it's incredibly important to continue to package events in such a way that the spectacle draws people in, because everyone isn't going to be as excited as those of us who are internal to the community. At some point in time, you were an outsider to anything, and if you look back at it, there's something that drew you in. Having these over-the-top events that seem not cheesy, but that seem like you're overdoing it, that's really what gets people's attention. For the TI5, it was, of course, almost $19 million. I mean, that's as big a promotional element as you could ask for. But for other events that maybe don't sport that huge figure, there are other ways on a smaller scale to do something similar, and I really believe that that needs to be duplicated across the board. Of course, there's argument that the sport itself or the competitive activity itself should do the attracting, but I disagree categorically, just because, like I said, sometimes you have to catch people's attention. We're living in an attention deficit, or a world full of attention deficit, and you need that pizzazz, that boom, pop, pow that pulls people in. And once they get pulled in, then it's like, I had a conversation today with a colleague. He made a great parallel. It's like the rabbit hole. So it's like, oh, you got my attention. Wait, what's down this hole here? You know? And you start digging, and that's how you really recruit more enthusiasm. That's how you draw a wider enthusiast base. That's how you garner the next generation, or excuse me, the next phase of followers, contributors, fans, viewers, etc. So that's all I have for this week. I'm open to any commentary, threats, any feedback whatsoever. I think this is a great topic. I'm gonna put together a post on this. I just haven't figured out how and where, but it's a great subject. I suggest that everyone go to GameInformer.com and read the article in their spare time. But like I said, I'm signing off for this week, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.